Hi! Welcome to part 1 of my review featuring Runecairn, Wardensaga. This is a role-playing game inspired by Dark Souls and the Icelandic Sagas, so those are two sources of fatalistic glory. There will be death, there will be combat, there will be moments of darkness and dread. It's part of the game, it's part of your destiny. This is a role-playing game for two players, that is, one game master and one player character. However, there are optional rules for more players, and there are rules to play it as a solo experience. And of course, you can always use these solo rules to create a cooperative experience without a game master. Now, let's talk about the quality of the PDF. The quality is great. When you purchase Runecairn Wardensaga, you get 3 files. You have a delve generator sheet, and I will talk about delve generation in a future part of this review. You also get a Runecairn character sheet that is fillable, and the rulebook itself. The document is well written, organized and explained. It's fully bookmarked, it has hyperlinks, and when it comes to the illustrations, for the most part, they tend towards a classical saga style. But when it comes to the cover, I like some things about it, but other things could have been better in my opinion. For example, the general composition looks awesome. You have this Thunar sort of warrior breaking the skull of what seems to be the reanimated bones of Hormungander. But the colors, well, the blue that is used in the Runecairn logo, that looks great, very much in theme with the Icelandic Sagas. But the purple pinkish background doesn't make too much sense in my opinion. I think a reddish color, perhaps white, would have been more in tune with the whole Icelandic Saga vibe. But despite that, the illustrations do their job at expressing the theme of this role-playing game. So overall, the quality is great despite that nitpick. Now let's talk about the contents. So what is Runecairn? This is a Norse fantasy tabletop role-playing game, intended for 2 players as I mentioned, the Warden, which is basically the game master, and the Adventurer. But you have advanced rules for solo play, or when playing with 2 or more adventurers. There are details concerning the design philosophy behind this role-playing game. When it comes to classes, an adventurer's role or skills are not limited by a single class. Instead, the equipment they carry and their experiences defines their specialty. When it comes to death, an adventurer may be powerful, but they are also vulnerable to harm in its many forms. Death is always around the corner, but it is never random or without warning. There's also going to be growth. An adventurer is changed through in-world advancement, gaining new skills and abilities by surviving hazards and overcoming obstacles. A player should always understand the reasons behind the choices they've made, and information about potential risks should be provided freely and frequently. In this role-playing game, you can have all sorts of adventures. Perhaps you need to defend a village against roving invaders. Maybe you need to hunt a monstrous creature stealing children. Maybe you need to retrieve a powerful relic lost in the mountains. Or perhaps you need to broker peace between 2 warring clans. You have a set of guidelines or principles for both wardens and players. Let's talk about the principles for wardens. When it comes to information, you have things such as provide useful information about the game world as the adventurer explores. A player does not need to roll dice to learn about their circumstances. Respond honestly, describe consistently, and always let the players know they can keep asking questions. About this, I'm going to put a link in the description below. The link will also appear on screen. It's a video where I talk about this aspect of role-playing games. I recommend that you watch it to polish your RPG sessions. I think it's worth it. Because this thing about questions, it is kind of defeated by the first 2 principles of providing useful information about the game world as the adventurer explores. You will find more details about this in that video. Please make sure that you watch it. Now, when it comes to difficulty, it's default to context and realism rather than numbers and mechanics. However, Saves cover a great deal of uncertain situations and are often all that is necessary for risky actions. When it comes to preparation, the game world is organic, malleable and random. It intuits and turns sharply. NPCs don't want to die, infuse their own self-interest and will to live into every personality. When it comes to narrative focus, emergent experience of play is what matters, not math or adventurer abilities. Give the player weapon trainers and personal quests to facilitate improvement and specialization. A dagger to your throat will kill you, regardless of your heavy armor and impressive training. When it comes to danger, the game world produces a real risk of pain and death for the adventurer. Give the players opportunities to solve problems and interact with the world. Concerning choice, give the players a solid choice to force outcomes when the situation lulls. Ensure that the adventurer's actions leave their mark on the game world. There is also the die of fate. Occasionally, you will want an element of randomness. At these times, you roll a d6. 4 or more favors the player, while 3 or under means bad luck. And these are just some of those principles. We also have the principles for the player. Concerning agency, attributes and related saves do not define your adventurer, they are tools. Be creative with your intuition, items and connections. When it comes to exploration, take the warden's description without suspicion, but don't shy away from seeking more information. There is no single correct way forward. When it comes to talking, treat non-player characters as if they were real people, and rely on your curiosity to safely gain information and solve problems. Concerning caution, try to stack the odds in your favor, and retreat when things seem unfavorable. When it comes to planning, think of ways to avoid obstacles through reconnaissance, subtlety, and fact-finding. When it comes to ambition, expect nothing, earn your reputation. There are also principles for the game world. Concerning the 9 realms, the battle of Ragnarok is done and the world is broken. The realms are full of danger and wonder. Concerning the gods, the Aesir and the Vanir are all dead or missing. The Jotun are scattered, most fled to Jotunheim. When it comes to the Titans, the sons of Fenrir wander hungry and feral. Hormungandr is dead, its skeleton long picked clean. Concerning bonfires, the light of a bonfire will always lead you to safety. Bonfires link the 9 realms. Concerning secrets, secrets are worth seeking out, but all are well guarded and dangerous. When it comes to magic, magic is wild and unpredictable, with behavior changing from one realm to another. When it comes to defeat, if one path leads to defeat, try another. With every defeat comes new knowledge and opportunities. Concerning death, spirits gather in places of the dead. Death is not the end. And this concludes this part of the review. In the next part we are going to talk about character creation. I really like how this game resulted from a combination of Norse mythology and Dark Souls fantasy. When it comes to the principles that help you play the game as a warden, as a player, and help you reshape and visualize the game world, I think they are useful, but depending on your style, maybe you will want to discard some of those principles and adapt the experience to your own role-playing style. I highly recommend that you check out my video about asking questions. Remember, the link will be in the description below. Thank you for watching this part of the review. If you have any comments or questions, please let me know. And thank you so much to those of you that have been supporting the channel by sending drive-thru RPG gift certificates. If anyone else wants to further support the channel, the information on how to do that will be in the description below. Once again, thank you, and see you later.